The sun stood high over the open plains when Marable Thornwood learned how heavy silence could be. It pressed against her chest as she walked the dusty road toward the ranch, her shadow short beneath her feet, her dress already warm with sweat. She had crossed 3 counties with nothing but a cooking pot and a hope she was afraid to name, carrying a lifetime of being overlooked, mocked, and dismissed for the body she lived in. By the time the white fence of the ranch came into view, she already believed what the world had taught her since girlhood, that no one ever loved a woman shaped like her, no matter how hard she tried to be useful. If this opening already makes you believe in kindness and second chances, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel Life Spark Stories. Your support helps stories like this reach hearts that need them. The ranch belonged to Silas Crownhill, a man known across the valley for his wide acres and his narrow trust. Since losing his wife years ago, he had turned his grief into work, rising with the sun and driving himself until daylight faded, believing effort could replace companionship. When Marable arrived that late morning, the ranch yard buzzed with life, horses shifting in their pens, workers repairing a fence, dust floating lazily in the bright air. She stood at the edge of it all, feeling like a mistake that had wandered into the wrong place. Marable had been a settler's daughter, raised on scraps of land and scraps of affection. Every rejection had carved the same message deeper into her heart, that her worth ended where her waistline began. Yet cooking had always been her quiet rebellion. Food was the one language that never laughed at her, the one offering she could make without being asked to disappear afterward. When she finally stepped forward and spoke her reason for coming, she offered only what she believed she had left to give: hard work, warm meals, and a steady presence. She did not ask to be admired. She only asked not to be turned away. Silas noticed her hesitation before he noticed anything else. In the harsh daylight, he saw the way she kept her eyes lowered, how her hands trembled as if expecting a blow. He had hired many hands over the years, strong and fast, loud with confidence. None had arrived carrying shame like a second skin. He put her to work in the ranch kitchen that very afternoon, not out of pity, but because something in her quiet persistence unsettled him in a way he could not explain. By midday, the first meal she prepared filled the long wooden table with a simple stew, rich with herbs she had gathered along the road. The ranch hands ate in near silence at first, then with growing eagerness, bowls scraped clean under the open windows where sunlight poured in. The warmth of the kitchen felt different that day, fuller somehow, as if the walls themselves had been waiting for this kind of care. Marable stayed in the background, bracing for criticism that never came. Days passed under the same bright skies. Marable worked from sunrise to late afternoon, cooking, cleaning, and learning the rhythms of the ranch. She still heard the old voices in her head, telling her she was temporary, tolerated at best. But small changes began to take root. A worker lingered to thank her. Another asked for seconds. The ranch felt less like a battlefield and more like a place that breathed. Silas, too, changed without noticing at first. He began returning to the house at noon instead of eating alone in the fields. He noticed how laughter returned to the table, how the ranch hands worked with lighter steps. In the clear daylight, he saw Marable not as a burden but as a quiet force holding broken pieces together. Her presence did not demand attention, yet it softened everything it touched. One afternoon, as the sun poured gold across the yard, Silas finally understood what had been missing from his life. It was not perfection or beauty as the world defined it, but dignity freely given and received. Marable had arrived believing she was unlovable, yet she had loved first through care, patience, and nourishment. In doing so, she reminded him that hearts, like land, needed tending in the open light. If this story is touching your heart, please take a moment to engage with this video. Your likes, shares, and subscriptions keep these stories alive on Life Spark Stories. Before we reach the ending, we have one special request. Please comment below and share what this story made you feel, because your words might inspire someone else today.